If you're applying to a university or a program outside India, then chances are that the statement of purpose is something that you're already working on. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to outline your statement of purpose. What are its major components? This is a follow-up video to my previous, video on how to overcome the writer's block when you're writing application essays or drafting your statement of purpose. My name is Anand Venkatesan. I'm the founder and mentor of this platform called Mentors Capital. We believe in the power of mentorship, and backed by our vast network of mentors from across the globe, people who walk through the same journey as you have, we believe that we'll make your application and admission decisions much, much better and hopefully help you, succeed in these aspirations. Now, before I start with, the statement of purpose and what are its key components, I think there's a very important distinction that needs to be made between the personal statement and the statement of purpose, right? Now, these are usually considered interchangeable terms, right? A personal statement is pretty much the same as, the statement of purpose or your letter of motivation to the university or program that you're applying for. However, keep in mind that when you're applying to the US, some universities will ask for a statement of purpose and a personal statement, right? And so the difference needs to be understood and accounted for. So the idea here is to know that a personal statement is a lot more personal. It talks about in more detail what are your personal attributes, craft a story that uses the major narrative points along your, CV or activities that you've done in your personal or professional life, but stitches together a story much like, what is there in your statement of purpose, right? However, there's a greater stress on what you bring to the table, what your personal attributes are, and what your personal contribution would be towards the program of study. Right? Just keep that in mind when it comes to drafting a personal statement. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about the statement of purpose. And I think one of the major components of a statement of a good SOP is an impactful start, right? It's obviously said that a good start, first impressions are indeed lasting impressions. And I think that's something that you need to keep in mind when starting or drafting your statement of purpose as well, right? Start with, and I would suggest there are two directions that it can take. The introduction could be in the form of a personal anecdote or a story that you have to tell, right? And this story must very, very deeply be linked with, the program that you wish to study, right? Whether it's management or a technical field of study, find a narrative in your life, whether in college or outside of college in an internship or even in a job that you're currently engaged in, right? But that personal anecdote needs to highlight what your attitudes and attributes are. What direction does it give you in terms of the future, in terms of building up to what you would like to achieve in your career and your personal life, right? So anecdotes are a great way to start. Alternatively, you can also start with a quotation that sort of speaks volumes about your attitude, right? And your attitude towards both personal and professional lives. If you can find a good quotation, nothing like it. However, a personal, anecdotal story can actually work. Make sure that it's unique, right? Don't use cliched stories like, I think I saw Elon Musk and I decided that, getting into a technical field of study would be a good idea, right? That's not really a good story to tell. That's not really, a good personal motivation for why you want to pursue the particular program that you wish to, right? So find something which is strong, which is personal, and also linked to your career goals. This should then be followed through in your essay with relevant experiences in the past, right? Whether they are of academic nature, internships, extracurricular activities, or even professional qualifications or professional experiences that you've gained working with companies, right? So the idea is to showcase relevant skills, right? And this is important. And you need to understand that if you're applying, for example, to a to a technical program, let's say a master's program in a particular engineering field, then you need to justify why that field is something that you've chosen. And it can only be justified by talking about past projects, past internships, past courses that you studied that are linked to the program that you're applying for, right? So relevance is important, as is, it should not be very, very, how do I put this? It should not be very, very transactional, right? I think the idea is to showcase your passion for the field of study, right? And a great idea to do that is to talk about, projects or capstone projects that you did or internships that you did that really opened up the world of possibilities in that particular field for you, right? Alternatively, if you're applying for a course in management, then a good idea is to talk about, events that you organized or initiatives that you led, which showcase your leadership skills, which showcase your ability to get a macro picture of a particular event or a particular initiative and executing that by, working well with your teammates. B schools really love people who show leadership potential. So that's, an idea that you need to communicate in the body of your essay, right? So step number 2, make sure that you detail out 2 or 3 personal stories. And I don't mean to sort of say it has to include 2, 3 stories, but the idea is to talk about coursework, extracurricular and co-curricular activities, as well as professional indulgences that showcase an interest in the field that you're applying for. This must then be linked with your goals, right? No statement of purpose can be complete without adequately addressing your career goals. And idea is to break up your career goals into something which is a 3-year to 5-year goal, in the horizon of 3 to 5 years, which is probably short to medium term, and then a longer horizon, which is, let's say, 10 to 15 years down the line, right? The idea is to imagine and communicate what you see yourself doing, right? What you wish to be doing. It could be a job that you wish to do. It could be a career in research that you wish to get into. It could even be a master's program leading to research and eventually a doctoral program of study, right? So make sure that you identify it. If and I get a lot of queries on this account. If you're applying for a management program, let's say a master's in management or an MBA, how specific do your goals need to be, right? Now there's no good way of judging this, but as specific as you can is actually a good idea, right? Because admission committees like clarity. Admission committees, really like to see candidates who are sure about what they want to do and are also, would also like to see evidence of you making progress in that particular direction, right? So make sure that your goals are specific, are quantifiable in the short and the long term, and are linked to obviously the program and your past background, right? So make sure you do that. And I think this is a very important point. Make sure that you link your goal with the program that you wish to study. A lot of people, forget that it's not just about touting, your attributes and your skills and your experiences, but it's also important to be humble enough to accept what you wish to learn, right? There need to be, gaps in your knowledge, in your experience that you need to fill by, the program that you wish to study. Like, for example, if you're a student of, engineering and you wish to study a master's program in data science, then make sure that you outline which particular direction you want to get into in terms of a career in data science. Is it analytics and more business side? Is it research side? Is it going to be in machine learning? Make sure that you identify which particular direction you would wish to take, and hence that will help you, clearly define the gaps, right, in your knowledge, in your experience, and what you wish to learn, the subjects that you wish to learn, and once you've established the gap, very, very easy to then link how the program can make a difference to you and your career aspirations, right? And that's the most important thing in a statement of purpose, is to communicate why the program of study is important for you to achieve your goals, right? Once you've managed to do that nicely, make sure that you conclude your essay, right? Now, conclusion is usually a summary of what you've talked about, right? Quickly recap maybe, the kind of person and attributes you have, linked to your career goals and how the program will help you achieve those, right? Equally important is for you to be able to talk about, what you bring to the table, right? And how you will be a good fit for the program. And hence your contribution to the peer group, in terms of research work that you can undertake, in terms of networks that you've established that you could leverage on campus, everything, that you feel is a contribution you can make must be spelled out in the statement of purpose, probably, in the concluding statement in your essay, right? This essentially forms the crux of your statement of purpose. Very, very simple template that I'm giving you. Start with an introduction, lead on to, by using a personal anecdote, lead on to the major experiences that you've had that are relevant to the field of study, link that with the career goals that you have, and how the program will, help you achieve those career goals and the gaps that it will help you fill. And finally conclude with what you bring to the table and how you will add value to the peer group, right? And it's a very simple format, and I hope that you're going to make good use of this. As always, I would like to reiterate that we at Mentors Capital deeply believe in the power of mentorship. Most of the information I'm giving you comes from the vast experience that our mentors provide, and this helps us to help you at every stage of the application journey, whether it's shortlisting schools, preparing for standardized exams, crafting impactful essays, LORs, or handling video assessments or personal interviews which come up later on in your admission journey, right? Now, in a subsequent video, I'm going to talk about the letters of recommendation, the key sort of pain points in LORs and how to draft an LOR, how it's linked to, the statement of purpose and other application essays. But that's for another day. I thank you for your time. I hope this has been useful. Do click on the link in the description in case you have any queries you'd like me to address, or have suggestions for future videos. This is me signing off. Thank you. Have a great day and wish you all the very best.